All right, good. So when you're here, I'm gonna click open dashboard just to show you what I have. My main voice acting website, my link tree essentially, and other things. The studio NPC for education that I run, the C6 Impact front-facing landing site, as well as my podcast is all on card. Because I pay for the pro level, I can have up to 10 sites, and I have 5 more sites that I can make right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. Either you are here and then you click on choose a starting point, and which will bring you to this page. From here, if you're following along, I'd like you to click on portfolio. Portfolio. Landing. Sorry, landing. My goodness. Click on landing, and it sorts all the possible available platforms, templates to whatever, right? You can use any of these, and all of these are all fixable. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I want you to scroll down to this. The next big thing this one right here, right? And if you're following along with me, please select. Boo, here we go. And it fills in the template for you with things already pre-decided. I like working from templates. There's a skeleton here that I can attach various meats to and change the bone structure if necessary, which I'll do here for you or with you. And yes, this whole thing is being recorded. And I can see the chat, and not as consistently as I can, but I will be monitoring as we go. Like you to begin here, but the things that I'm about to show you can be applied to any of these templates. So you choose on your style, your vibe, the way you like to present yourself, so on and so forth, and do it your way. But please follow along with me if possible. So as I move my mouse around the screen, you'll see that these green lines appear, right? The one that's furthest away, the biggest furthest away in the background is the page. The page, think of it as layers. If you do photo editing, you know what I'm talking about. The layers sitting on top of each other. And it's just a bunch of layers that have been turned 90 degrees like this. So that the first thing that we see up front is the content, and the one behind it is the container, and the one behind it is the page. One more time. Everything that you see here is the content, and the content is enveloped inside a container. And these containers are sitting on top of a page, right? 3-level system. And from here, I'm going to start from the minuscule, the micro, as we expand out to the macro as we go, right? First thing that I see is a purple circle with an image element. Image element. I'm going to click it. And as I click it, more options become available on my left side. It's asking for an image. So I'm gonna go over to my photo or my logo, and I'm simply gonna drag it in here. Boo! And as I drag it in here, it's asking for crop, right? This is easy enough. I'm gonna bring it here and focusing on my face kind of like that. Maybe a little bit bigger. Kind of like that. So that my eyeballs, my nose, my mouth is kind of in the middle square. Do you have to? No. Can it be like this? Yes, it can. Totally up to you, of course. But I like it kind of like that, and I'll accept. And now there's my picture. Easy enough, right? Easy enough. Now, in this picture, I know, like, if I wanted to make this into a link, I could. Do I want to? Maybe. I don't know. We'll decide. But there's this element of the image and various things that you can adjust. In the paintbrush tab is the appearance tab. And this right here, the theme or the style of logo, is a preset of this one image, of this one picture. And if I make an adjustment on this picture like this, any other pictures that I create, an element that has the same style of logo, the same size, image, the color, everything will be copied over. so that I don't have to. If I have 20 pictures that I have planned for this website, I don't have to sit there and adjust each and every one to the specifications that I want. If it's a logo, right? So let's go back. Here's the undo button. Undo is awesome, as we all know. Here we go, and redo. Width of 9, height, that's auto. Can I change this? Yes, I can. There's a really long version of me. I'm going to keep it at auto, because why not? I can change the circle, shape, or a rectangle. That looks nice too. I prefer the circle. And hex codes. Everything on card is done with this color palette or a hex code. Because over the years, I've experimented with different colors and palettes and things of that nature. I know which colors I want. And for something like this, I want my 7 red. Or 5. I go 7 or 5 for my reds. But that one blends too much with the background. So I want it to pop a little bit. So I'm going to go with a 7. And you can adjust the border with big border, small border, or one border. I'm going to make it, I don't know, 10. Nice even number. It can be a solid. It can be a dashboard. It can be dotted. I like the solid. It even has a drop shadow. And some grays. I like to go with all A's. Right? Like a bright gray. Or maybe this is where I can go with a 5. Or maybe I'll go with all white. or black. In fact, I think I'll go with all black. Black might be better. There we go. Because why not? And the drop shadow can have angles, even though we can't really see. If we make the size bigger. Distance. Now we can see the angles. Right? Here we go. Woo, 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 woo. I'm having too much fun with this. Maybe I'll make the size auto. The same size as the thing. And if we decrease the distance to about, I don't know, 0.5 or so, and point it down at 180. Let's go with 180. That's close enough. Maybe I don't like it. Maybe I don't like it. If we just get rid of the drop shadow, we can do that too. Right? Totally, completely up to your customization on how you'd like this preset of logo to be. So that if we insert another picture, this plus button adds more element, and whatever element you choose, like this, highlight, and then click the plus button, it'll get created right underneath. If you don't select anything, and then press the plus button, it'll go to the very bottom. FYI. So if you know already where you want to place it, select the element that's right above it, and then add. If we add another picture, the image, logo, right? Notice it's the same thing, same format. And as I changed and modify this logo, it changes all the other logos on the site. Does that make sense? But if I, oh dear, but if I go here and not give it a style, a binding style, right? Then if I go to logo and change it, it doesn't affect it. That makes sense, right? So it's really for convenience. I'll click it, and this trash can deletes it. Gone. Maybe there's an element you want to copy, duplicate. This button duplicates, so that you can put it anywhere you want, right? Delete. So, some basics of the appearance aspect. As we go down, padding is about the space in the area around the element. Padding. Right? There's more padding, extra space all around the element that I've uploaded. Whoop. Margins is vertical. The space after, right? So you decide. I'm going to keep it auto. Alignment, that's easy, right? However you want it, easy enough. If you're particular about how a website appears on a phone, and if you currently have a website, have you visited your website on a phone, it appears differently, as it should. It's not a computer with a desktop and a monitor, right? And content on mobile look different than on desktop. And because it does, it's rather important. A lot of people are looking at your website through their phones. So, Card offers this helpful auto function. Automatically optimizes the element for viewing on mobile screens. Done. And now, when you click on the phone, you get a preview of what it looks like on your phone. Desktop version, phone version, right? So you can decide and choose. Do I want that to look like that, or do I want it to be different? Completely under your control. This one, animation. You can again set the same logo if you'd like, but this talks about the appearing and disappearing animation as the page loads. It's nice to have some images like slide in or pop in or whatever. You've done PowerPoint presentations before, right? Animations, should you decide to do it. I don't do it, really. But you can, if you like, zoom in and all the other options on what possible animation your elements could have. Fade in, duration, intensity, delay. Does it play back when you scroll out of it and come back into focus? So on and so forth. Or when it hovers. Many options. All of this is really not necessary right now anyway. We may get to it. We'll see. But basics of working with a specific element of the image. The next big thing is not really saying anything. The thing that belongs here, obviously, is your name. There you go. Right? But I don't like that. The way it's like stacked on top of each other. I don't like that at all. So maybe I'll go here, right? And change the color to my branding color. And maybe change the font to my branding font of Dosis is the one I use. And maybe I'll make it smaller. I think 4.5 is okay. And then I don't like it bold. I like it extra thin because it's goals. Thank you. Line spacing, letter spacing looks fine to me. Margins fine. Perfectly okay. Appearance, I can have it all lowercase, right? I can have it all in the uppercase. I like the uppercase. I'll keep it in the uppercase. Letter spacing, right, side to side. You can see it expand and stretch as it goes. I like it. I like it as 0 as default. Line spacing for top to bottom, as you can see, it changes things. Again, left, right, center, whatever. And gradient is a gradient is a function where a certain element can have two different colors, and as it changes over a gradient, and as I change this, you can see how it shifts and shades differently. Or you can just not have a gradient. Completely up to you. I don't like that it's all red against this gray background, so I may add a drop shadow and use C's here for this one. Oops. There we go. And that looks weird too, of course. So I'm going to bring it down to 45 degrees, the way I like it. And maybe close the distance to like, I don't know, just slightly. Like that. Maybe I'll go 90. That might be better stylistically. And I'll just increase it a little bit here. And if we increase the blur, it's a great way to highlight the thing that's there. Maybe I'll do a 0 and do like a 1. Nah, that's too much. I think 0.25. 0.5 might be good. Maybe it's too much. 0.75 would be nice. You've seen those like neon signs with the lights inside the case, right? And reflected against the background. It looks nice. I like that. And same, auto for mobile. And done. Now there's my name. Lorem ipsum dolor sit. It's irrelevant. What I want here actually is my email address. Oops. Like that. And of course, this should be in the same font that I use, which is Dosis. And it should be, I don't know, in a different color. I think I want it all white so it pops a little bit more. And I'm adjusting content number 1. I think I'll rename this to say email address. So that every time I type in an email address on this site, the same style choices appear automatically, right? Let me make it a little bit bigger. I like it thin, as always. Line spacing is okay. Letter is fine. Margin is okay. Let's do it on a lowercase. It already is. Center is okay. I don't need a gradient. I don't need a drop. Maybe I could do a drop shadow, and we'll make it black this time. Oh, yeah. There we go. And oops. And the same thing. We'll make it 90 degrees. Whoop. 90 degrees. And same distance of something like that. And we'll make it blur 375 or 0.5. So that it just appears. A little bit of texture in between. Right? Here's something basic. Now, what's missing from here is the audio file. Audio voice actors, right? We want our demo / samples. And I'll inform you that Card by itself does not natively support uploading of audio. Rather, it's Link. Further demonstrated by my website. If you go to my website is on Card as well. This media player is a plugin that I purchased so that I can have a number of files ready to go on my website as my clients land. And just like as I've explained with the samples, I want my clients to be able to choose what they want to listen to. Now, I have a demo, and they're not going to give me individual pieces, although I could ask. I prefer to have a demo here like this because I have a demo to showcase, and I want them to listen to them in succession. But along with my raw studio sample, with the capability of being able to download the audio and other things here as well. And if you go to other sections of my website, it's the same thing. The same audio player with different files. So that's an option. You can certainly purchase the licensing or outright the plugin that you can utilize in a Card website to feature your sound like this. If budget is a thing, then SoundCloud is the answer. SoundCloud. I've uploaded the character demo and raw sample, my studio sample, to this account that I created an hour ago, and here I am. Simply, I'm gonna copy the link that leads to this thing. Come back to my my Card, and I think I'll put it right here underneath this. And I want to select my name and not just hit plus because it'll show up at the bottom, right? So click my name, press plus, and I'm going to add audio. And when I add the audio element, no URL. So URL, boo. But it's in red. Oh no. We have to follow the format, of course. And all of the attributes of a hyperlink is unnecessary. And right there is where my link ends. And here you go, right? And the same thing, if I say done, like that's the way it's going to appear, right? And I don't know what it's going to look like until I publish it. So let's publish it and see. This cat. What the heck is a diskette, June? The experienced folks in the call know what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. A diskette. Oh my. It's a publishing option, and here's the publish option. Floppy disk. No, it's a diskette. So it's like the real OGs. Thank you very much. It's gonna ask you for a few things. Title. Well, June Yoon might be a good title. I might add a Korean voice actor, since that's what I am. And description could be a wonderful... No. a voice actor in Los Angeles with a broadcast quality home studio, perhaps. Specializing in video game animation and other character-focused voiceover. No, Apple, don't do that. Here we go. Whatever you want to put in there, right? And when people Google you, when you link your site, the text here is what's going to appear in various Twitter previews and Discord previews. And if you're still with me, we're going to publish to a cardco.url. You decide the name. It's going to check. And if it's available, huzzah. If not, then whatever. We'll talk about the rest of this later in the session. Publish. Oh, right. Forgot, there's more. For the time being, I'm going to delete these. Let me show you. This container, before we talk about containers, because this has an unfinished element, can't exist yet. So I'm going to delete this whole thing. Preserve the contents in it? No, I don't need it. So do you want to preserve them? No, I don't. So that the whole thing is deleted. Same thing here. Let's delete it. Do you want to preserve it? No, I don't. Same thing here. Let's delete it. Do I want to preserve? No, I don't. Let's delete these containers and these dividers as well. And this control element we'll talk about as well, and that can go there. So that the whole thing is this website right here. And if you go back to publish and hit publish, there it goes. And now you should be able to type in juneyoon.card.co, and this will appear. Like, you want to talk about the very basic, fundamental website? Here you go.